Hello, how you doing?
Hello, is this Dazzle?
Yeah, it's Dazzle.
Yes, how you doing? I want to know if I can book a reading or if you're available for a reading.
Yes, always. What's on your mind?
Okay, so I think my baby father's sleeping with the girl next door.
What?
And yes, because she always looking at me funny. She never really speak. But every time I'm with him, it's like she speak and be giggling, like doing this like a side eye thing. I think it's like a woman's intuition thing. He say I'm tripping, but I know I'm not. She don't do nothing for me, nothing for my kids. And the other day, I found like a Gucci receipt in his armrest, and just coincidentally, she had like some
Alright, we're
Gucci
gonna
shoes.
figure. Hello, everybody. It's your girl Dazzle That Tarot, and I am back for another live tarot and chat. Okay, so please like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified of when I upload and when I go live. And if you would like to book a private reading, all you have to do is go into the description box. Everything is down there. Okay, so before I even start, I gotta let y'all know, Big Dazzle been going through some personal stuff. Okay, honestly, I told y'all 2024 was not kind in a way. Um Really, it is a growing up process. I am 35 and I'm watching my family transition. It's not something I want. The I Matter of fact, before I go into everything, I just want to tell y'all a little bit about what I got going on, y'all. I really do. So, just to let y'all know, I was brought up in a very big family. Okay, I was blessed to have both sides, both of my grandparents. Right. Let me tell you how blessed I was. On my mom's side, my grandma was married, had 6 children, divorced, and remarried. So technically, I have 3 grandparents on that side. My father's mother, my other grandma, she was married, had 3 children, no, 2 children, divorced, got remarried, and had another child. So I have 3 grandparents on that side. I grew up with 6 grandparents, and also I grew up with 2 great grandparents. Okay. So with that, I also had all of my uncles. I had in total 4 uncles that married, whatever, and an aunt on my mom's side. And then I had 3 uncles who had children, this, that, and the third, married on my father's side. Matter of fact, not 3, too, because 3 includes my father as in children. I've had more than 30 cousins, more than 30. Okay, more than I can count. Right? So my childhood was not bad. I got into stuff, yes, but my childhood was not bad. But, life hits. Things happen. And as you get older, you get disillusioned and you really see things how they are. And then you realize that your family is more divided than they are together. Okay. My grandfather on my mom's side, um, my grandma's second marriage, who adopted all the kids. I never knew. It was so crazy. I love my granddad. Okay. He passed away in 2014. Okay. That hurt our family. It didn't ignite, it didn't unite it, it divided it. Because he was the glue. Then fast forward. 2024, March, 26th, my mom had a heart attack going to work in the car. She was at least outside for at least 30 minutes. They had to shock her 5 times, right? She comes back, and we want to hope for the best. We don't just want to pull the plug on my mom, because you never know. Let her heal. Let her do what she got to do. And when she's ready to leave, she will leave on her own accord. But she's not done because she feels like she's not done. So my mom has brain damage, right? So we're dealing with that. Then I had to deal with a miscarriage in 2024. It was not a baby that nobody prayed for. That baby was loved by both parents, me and my husband. And at the end of the day, my resolve is that, the baby wasn't here for a long time, but it was here for a good time, and it was love. He or she was love. And that's all that matters. It wasn't just by me and my husband. It was by my in-laws. It was by my family. Everyone loved this baby that was going to be. I just didn't know it was going to be. I lost it in the wake of getting a new job and stressing and the strenuous work with the new job and stressing about my mom. Couldn't sleep, all types of things, right? Fast forward, my grandma has a mild stroke. The ancestors was trying to call her home too, but she said, nah. My mom is fighting, saying, nah, I still got stuff to do. And my grandma had to fight on that. Like, look, I know y'all want me to cross over, but I can't do it right now. Right? Period. So the stroke was mild. But what ended up happening is the family dog ended up having a stroke. And we had to put, it's so sad because I remember when Pepper was a puppy, I named Pepper. Her name was Pepper Ann Carter. Okay. Pepper lived to a very old age. And she had a stroke. And the doctors, the vets, pretty much recommended to put her down because there was nothing else to do. And basically, the stroke was severe. So we had to put Pepper down. Turn around. My mom's favorite brother, he was already sick. He had been battling illness for a long time. And basically, this week was the week. So pretty much he got really sick, basically. And at this point, the doctors had already called it. Well, look, we can do no more for my uncle. I prayed upon it and stuff, but the reality is, if your kidneys and liver is shut down, no, his liver has shut down, and his kidneys is shutting down, and one part of his heart is not functioning. So he is leaving this world within a couple of hours, within a couple of days. So they stopped the medication, and now they're just giving comfort care, like with pain medicine and stuff like that. So pretty soon, sooner than later, he will be transitioning. And it's crazy because this uncle, which is my mom's favorite brother, was very predominant in my upbringing. I cannot tell you a situation when I was growing up where he was not there. So I'm like, okay, this happened. I work a lot, right? It happened over the weekend and this and third. But I said, I'm going to make it my business to go today. So I made sure I did not have extra work to do. And I went up there and I seen him. And it's one thing for someone to tell you, but there's another thing when you see it. Because I'll be honest with you, the difference between dying of a gunshot wound and dying of illness is that when you're dying of illness, like dying, period, is a heavy task. You know, things are shutting down and your body wants to keep going, but unfortunately, it cannot function correctly. So dying is a hard task. Is definitely hard work. And when I see my uncle, I felt like nothing else mattered. All right. So it took me a minute to come back. But I know where my uncle is going. And I'm like, well, shit. Oh, my folks calling y'all home, huh? Y'all, they calling y'all on the other side. I see what's going on. I see the play. So my uncle's about to go on the other side. My mom got 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And at this point, I'm like, well, that's her favorite brother. Does she want to go too? He better not come to her and be like, come on. Because she going to say yes. And I don't have time for that. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a lot to process. And my grandma, she's an Aries. So her no, when she mean no, she like no. So you're not about to strike me out with a stroke. You got to come better than that. Not right now. I got work to do. So with that being said, I just wanted to tell y'all about what I had going on and why I need a little bit of a minute. And, you know, Big Dazzle got some changes going on in the real life. So, thank God. So, let's talk about this. So, we're going to be talking about P. Diddy, Daphne Joy. We're going to be talking about 50 Cent, his baby mama. We're going to be talking about Tyler Perry and that $260 million lawsuit, okay, with an actor that he was actually trying to finesse on. He was trying to hump on, scooch on. He wanted him to be his Two Biscuits and BJ, okay? So if you don't know what a Two Biscuits and BJ is, that is down low lingo for blowjob. So he was trying to get that man to give him a blowjob. And then we're going to be talking about President Trump, the far-right assassin who assassinated a Democratic couple who's actually, I think they're both some type of representatives in the Democratic Party. And then we're going to also be talking about Zaria and Shamarcus Carr. Okay, so let's get into it. So let me go ahead and show y'all me. Hello. I am me. I am she. I'm here to tell y'all. I'm here to just go ahead on and start the reading with y'all. We're not gonna be all whatever until, you know, hey, if y'all want to talk. But look, 50 Cent baby mama came out with this. You know 50 Cent first baby mama with his son Curtis. I know his name is Curtis. His son name is Curtis. His first son, the one that, you know, they be dissing. They diss each other so bad on social media, like they really beef it and stuff, right? That's his mama. His mama. Okay. Matter of fact, let me do this. This will be smarter, right? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna let y'all listen to Chronicle. No, this is Pet T Blog. Pet T Blog can explain it better than I could, because I don't know where to start at. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to Pet T Blog. And mind you, this is fair use commentary. And I'm gonna let y'all listen to Pat T blog and show y'all what I'm talking about. Okay. So hold on. Let's get down to it. All right, let me go ahead and put this back on my little avatar, and I'm about to show y'all. Okay, Pat T blog. This is what is going on between 50 Cent and his baby mama coming out and telling all, and then we're just going to go ahead on and do the reading about it, okay? So go ahead, let's do it.
How I became fluent in Spanish.
Hold on, wait. They got to pay their bills. Hold on, y'all. There we go.
She said she thought I...
Here you go. All right, fair use, y'all. And I will stop to give commentary. Okay. And you are now watching the Petty Blog. And please follow, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the Petty Blog. Okay.
Can't be on the Petty Blog. Petty and T. Oh, Petty. It's your girl Petiana, and let's get right into it. So back in 2008, 50 Cent's mansion mysteriously burned down while his baby mama, Shaniqua Tompkins, and their son, Marquise, were inside. Thankfully, they all made it out alive. Won't he do it? But ever since then, rumors swirled that 50 himself may have set it up or had someone do it. Why? Because he allegedly couldn't stand Shaniqua and wanted her gone. Allegedly. She insinuated this back then too, but you know how it goes. The industry never goes against people who are popping, so her story went by the wayside. Fast forward to now, 50's out here accusing Shaniqua's kids of doing PPP scams. Yes, he exposed his own son about it, which is like illegal. So baby, Shaniqua said enough is enough. She just went live and confirmed what she's always believed, that 50 was behind the fire. Her story stayed the same from then to now. She said they had a blow up at her lawyer's office days before. He threatened her, said, "Watch how I get down," and even had people following her car.
Mind you, this is the same man who was sitting there mocking P. Diddy at his trial. Mind you, this is the same man who is mad because P. Diddy basically slutted out his second baby mama, Daphne Joy. And let's go ahead.
Later, boom, the house goes up in flames. She says she believes it wasn't just to scare her, it was to unalive them. She described waking up in fear, glass shattering, fire blazing, and jumping out the window with 4 minors in the house, including their son Marquise, who was sick that day. An off-duty cop saved their lives. She says she never changed her story and has the police report to prove it. Now that 50's throwing shots, she's throwing fire, and it's not the kind you escape through a window from, pun intended. And as my cousin Petit would say, y'all know I can't make this up, right? Check it out.
Let's get to the house burning now, because there's a lot of speculation, a lot of stories about the house getting burned. You want to recap on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think I told y'all 50 Cent's baby mom's name. Her name is Shaniqua Tompkins, okay? So she's about to explain how her house burned down, and she feels like it was her baby daddy, 50 Cent.
One of the...
Well, let me ask you this way. What makes you say he did it?
We got into a fight that Monday at my lawyer's office. I have a police report. He threatened me. He tried to hit me, but I ran. He threatened me. He said he was going to have someone come do something. He said, and watch how I get down. He said it. And that Friday, that was Monday. That Friday, I had to do my deposition. I was taking my kids to school. A Magnum car was following me. I don't know if you remember the Dodge Magnum, and everybody knew back then all of GM members rode Dodge Magnum. Was following me to my kids to school. I ditched.
Okay, that's key. what she's saying is she was taking her son to school, and there was a Dodge Magnum following behind her. Whole time, all the G Unit members from 50s group drove Dodge Magnum. So that was like, okay, that's a red flag. That means my baby daddy got somebody following me.
The car, drove to Queens and drove to my grandma's house. Mia was already in school. I get to the courthouse. I do my deposition. I come back outside. It was a guy following, trying to intimidate me to the point where my lawyer was so worried that she would just please be careful. So he was trying to kick me out the house, and he couldn't get me out the house. And that's another thing where he says, like, oh, he went to Suffolk County. They gave me an eviction, but I took it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court allowed me to stay, so he couldn't get me out the house at the time. And then his lawyer, I had in my deposition papers, his lawyer actually asked me where was my evidence, and that was the first part of the house to burn down.
Okay, so how did it happen?
Say his name. Yeah, it was 4 months.
Do you think it was a move to try to scare you or try to get rid of you? What do you deep down? Like, what do you think the motive was behind you? To really get rid of you or to scare you out of the house? Honestly speaking,
I think it was to kill us.
Okay, so basically what she's saying is that she feels like 50 Cent got one of his goons to burn the house down that her and her son was living at, because, I mean, I think I fast forwarded some, but one part of it was he probably thought that she had a male in the house, and the other part was that he wanted her out the house, right? So let's go ahead and get on into it. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Did 50 Cent actually try to get his baby mama Shaniqua's house burnt down that her and their minor son was living in? Did he actually try to do that? And then we're going to ask about the Daphne Joy part, because his first baby mama claims that he was abusive not only to her but Daphne Joy. But the reason why, when Daphne Joy legal team reached out to her, she declined because Daphne Joy was always like throwing jabs at her. So we're going to talk about that real quick. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's ask for one. Did 50 Cent actually get his first baby mom's, I think it's Shaniqua, house that he told her that he got for her burnt down? Did he have anything to do with it? Let's just ask that. 1, 2, 3. Did he have anything to do with it? Well, I'll tell you what. The star is hopefulness. The Ace of Cups reverse is what? An emptying of the cup. There is no love. And then the Temperance in the reverse is hedonistic behavior, doing things to satisfy you. So, and then what Spirit is saying is the Hierophant in the reverse, inappropriateness. So for me, I feel like it's a yes. Okay, he did it. He got somebody to do that just based on his hair-triggered emotions. And he felt like it would be better for him, or he felt like it would be self-gratifying in some type of way to do that, right? And then spin the narrative. Whole time, hopefully, it would spin the narrative and he can take away her child from her. Yes. So he definitely did do that. Okay. Because it was about money. He felt like he was losing money with that house. Okay. So with that house and child support and whatnot. So let me see this. So Was Daphne Joy throwing shots at 50 Cent's first baby mama? What was her issue? Matter of fact, I'll just ask True Emotions. We're going to do some oracle. How did Daphne Joy truly feel about 50 Cent's first baby mama? Like, why was she coming after her? Was she being mean? What was she doing? Let's ask about Daphne Joy's true emotions towards the first baby mama of 50 Cents. 1, 2, 3. Feelings. Faith, healing, meditation, praying, moving on, letting go, loving you, free. See, she knew that 50 or the baby mama still harbored emotions, still harbored some type of feelings towards each other. But she felt like things were not calm. They were not moving on because they didn't let certain things go. They needed to actually, be at peace, pray to Mecca to resolve things. Things were not being resolved, right? Moving on, letting go, and loving you. She felt like that was a free man. She also felt like, what's up, Dominique? Oh, hey, boo, I've been waiting on you. I'm so sorry. Like I told y'all in the beginning, I needed a moment. I was talking to my family because my uncle, the doctors told us that he only has between a couple of hours and some days to live. So, yeah. So I had to go see my uncle. And I'm just wrapping my head around certain stuff, right? But I am doing what I love to do right now, so this is going to help me stay positive. So she felt like that man was a free man, right? She felt like that girl still had feelings for him, can't move past it, still in the turmoil. I hope all is well. Please don't believe them doctors. You cannot believe the doctors, but you can believe the paperwork sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like my currently my uncle kidneys, my uncle liver has failed. My uncle kidneys are failing. I think it's like 80% non-working. Half of my uncle's heart is non-working anymore. So they have moved him in the hospice, and they're just giving him comfort care. Okay, they stopped everything else, and they moved him into comfort care. Basically, when things like that shut down, you become toxic. He has a lot of fluid in the belly. He lost a lot of weight. He got extremely dark. He's in and out. He knows you're there. He hears you, but he's saying coherent things, but still incoherent because of the pain medication. So pretty much I'm praying for a miracle, but I'm being honest, right? So the family now at this point is planning for final expenses and things like that. You don't have to be sorry. I'll be honest with you. My uncle has been sick for a while. And when he first started getting sick, like I told my grandma, when he first started getting sick, I remember that. Because what happened, part of it was he got sick from diabetes, right? And my uncle was not the type to be a sick person. My uncle, I'll be honest, my uncle was out here living life, having a good time, being a Rolling Stone, whatever you want to call it. He was absorbed in himself, having a good time. And I remember, and I'll just be honest, I remember when he was taking medication he was taking metformin. And I remember before he got, because mind you, my uncle was very light skinned, okay? When he got really deep into it, he got as dark as me. The whole time, he is light as hell with curly hair, right? That's how you knew it was something going on, because he was dark. He got so dark, right? His skin got that dark. But I remember before all that happened, I was in, because mind you, my uncle also loved luxury cars. So we was in his, I forgot what year it was, but it was that same year Mercedes, right? And we were in that Mercedes, and he took sick, and he had to stop the car. He had to pull over and throw up. And he was throwing up and throwing up and throwing up. And he was telling me, he was like, I'm just tired of being sick. I don't want to be sick. And the way he cried, like, it's almost like, because sometimes when I am an empath too, right? So I cried when he cried. And then it was two things that happened within me. One part was that you're going to get better, but the other part, I knew you were not. And I dreaded the road that he was going to take. And the road that he had to take was a road that he never wanted to take. Being sick for him was worse than death. Okay? He hated it. He hated every part of it. And then when it came, and then there was a time that he ended up eventually having to be on dialysis. He hated all of it. Every part of it. Nothing about being sick did he like. Like, it humbled him. It changed him. Okay? So, when I seen him, and I'll be honest, he was not always the best of persons. Did he have his problems and his shit with him? Yes, the fuck he did. But to see him today and to see how much weight he lost, and it's like the gray hair. You know, my uncle looked Arabian. Like, and I see him now, and I'm like, and I just want to just die. I just want to break down and cry for him, right? But see, so much stuff been happening that I don't know if I'm all cried out, or I don't know what else to give. Like, I'm like, I don't know what else to do. Like, you know, usually people cry and they're mourning and things like that. But look, I done cried for my mama. I done cried for my baby. I done cried for my grandma. I done cried for the dog that passed. At this point, I don't know what else to do. Hey girl, hey. I don't know what else to do for y'all. I don't know what else to give. But when I seen him, I seen the man. And dying is heavy labor. Y'all know when there's a difference between just being shot in the head and passing away on the scene than actually dying from a sickness and your body's shutting down. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when that's happening, that is heavy labor, right? And because you don't want to, but your body is fighting, but it doesn't help. So, you know, that's all I'm saying. It's like that. And when you realize what's going on, like, at this point, I can't tell you that my uncle's going to make it. What I can tell you is that we have to be prepared. We have to get prepared. And what I also will say is that the lighthearted part is, because my uncle was a comedian too. We used to laugh and joke all the time. It was a laugh and a joke every time. And even with him going in and out of consciousness and he's saying stuff and then muttering and stuff, from time to time you still hear a joke. Because that's how my family is. We're gonna try to, maybe that's a defense mechanism, or I don't know what it is, but because I know that he dreaded being sick, I actually feel kind of better that he's not going to have to deal with that anymore. He hated being sick. Okay? I just knew that day in the car when he was crying, saying, I'm just tired of being sick. I'm just tired of it. And I looked down and I knew this was not for him. This ain't him. You know what I'm saying? So the best thing I can give for that, he ain't got to be sick no more. You know what I'm saying? So I like that better for him. And I know the crazy part is that our family, because even if our family is Catholic, Christian, whatever, we know for a fact that death is not the end. So I like the fact that he's passing on. Because I know my folks is calling him. Because he been talking about our folks. So, he had a long battle. He been sick since 2014. He been dealing with this since, matter of fact, before 2014. He was dealing with that probably around 2012 when it started. So when it started cracking, like when you don't deal with diabetes will deal with you. Okay? But, or high blood pressure and different things like that, it will deal with you. When you don't, do the minor things, the big things happen. So when he got on the medication and things like that, he was already on a track to dialysis after a while because it was going to happen. So that's really what was going on. So now we're here, and my uncle is handsome. He has a body right now that is not his. His true body is beautiful. So when he passes away, that body will go into the ground, and his true self will be who he is. So let's get back to it. Daphne Joy. Okay. Daphne Joy already knew that 50 Cent and his first baby mama still had feelings for each other, right? And even though she tried to extinguish those feelings, you cannot stop feelings that was already there before you came, girl. Those feelings got to resolve on its own. And, I think, yes, she was sitting there putting the extras in and throwing jabs to help separate and keep apart and keep drama. And I wouldn't even say drama. Make them not want to coexist, basically, because I'm competing with you and you got me fucked up. Y'all still got underlying emotions, and now I'm the only bitch. And mind you, I'm not black, right? No, here's what I mean by I'm not black. Did Daphne Joy have a problem with? Did Daphne Joy feel entitled and felt like she was better than because his first baby mama was black, right? Because you do have these other races who come into situations with black men and feel like they are better than the black women counterparts. So did she automatically feel like she was the prize because she was a different ethnicity than his first baby mama? So let's ask that. 1, 2, 3. The High Priestess in the reverse. The Page of Pentacles. Oh, girl, you was immature. Daphne Joy is immature. I'm going to tell you that. And she's not a friend to anybody. First of all, the High Priestess in the reverse is a secret frenemy, right? Your secret enemy who would tell your business too. And then whole time, if it's not just that, it's somebody who lacks this is somebody who would get intuitive downloads, but say, fuck it, right? Not pay attention to the higher self, right? So this is somebody who does not pay attention to her higher self half the time. She pays attention to her lower chakra. So if she ever got downloads, she was putting it into a negative scenario, okay? That was her problem. This Page of Pentacles in the reverse is fucking immature. Childish as shit. Immature. Overthinking about a fucking coin. You're worried about money too much. So what you said was my money, my man, my mansion, right? And you looked at his first baby mama as in she got to go. I don't care if they not together, they still got feelings. She got to go. And then not only that, as far as immaturity, the Page of Pentacles for me in the reverse could be vanity too. Girl, you felt like you was better than her, okay? And you felt like things went your way because you was of a different skin complexion, which sounds stupid as shit, but that's exactly what it was. The things that were important to her, right? Because it was never about, matter of fact, y'all, I don't know. Maybe y'all can talk to me. I don't know if y'all got time. I'll just throw it down here just in case if anyone wants to show up. I don't have no problem with that. Let me see. I'll just throw the link down and y'all be talking, right? Because I got to talk through this tonight. Tonight is going to be me talking and talking shit, and we're going to be reading and things like that. Because to be honest with you, I got to talk through it, you know, whatever we got to do. But Daphne Joy really did have a, what do you call it? I wouldn't even call her racist. Maybe colorist. I mean, but would it be her fault? Because these men put her on a pedestal, so she automatically think in her head that she's better than his first baby mama. But that's how she really feels. Whole time, I ain't even, like, I was supposed to have done this already, girl. I was supposed to already have done this, girl. Let me do this. Okay. I'm about to add you to the stage. Let me add you to the stage. Let me do this. Do this. Let me see if I can add you to the correct way. You here, right? Tweety. I think you on the stage. Okay, I think I want to change how. Tweety. Oh, I never put you on stage. Let me see. Okay, now I got you on stage. Let me see this. Let me see if this works.
Yay. Okay, can you hear me?
I'm trying to. Are you on stage?
Yeah, I see that. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, girl.
Okay, good.
I was trying to change up so I can see, because I kind of feel like the reason why I can't see two people on the stage. Oh, yeah, you can see it. Okay, you can see it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I had to do it
like I know when that other girl comes up, I think it might be her in the chat. Is it Dominique? What was the other lady's name?
It's Dominique. My girl Dominique.
Yeah, her picture wasn't coming up. I thought it was something else. So you could control who shows up?
Yeah, but the whole time I thought it was because I had the circle. I thought it's because I had to. You see how the the pictures are right now is a circle. I thought it was because he had the circle, right? So I thought it was something I was doing wrong.
Was acting funny yesterday. Was you on stream, y'all, yesterday? People, was it yesterday or the day before?
Every single time I was on StreamYard. So
Okay.
I was like, okay, well, is this working? And then don't mind my baby in the background. He's literally like snoring sleep.
Oh, I can't hear anything.
Baby. Okay, you can't hear my fur baby.
Yeah, I don't hear him. Okay, this is what I wanted
to the king. Lex Luthor the king is sleeping like a king.
Okay, I ain't mad at him. He probably had a long day. Go ahead and enjoy your nap.
Yes, he done ran all over.
Okay, so this is what I was going to say. Who was behind the circle? I see the Duchess Dior person. I just was watching a video about that. And then who was the white guy behind Duchess and them?
Hold on, wait. So we talking about, for right now, because we're going to get to the, okay. So, you got Daphne Joy, you got P. Diddy, you got 50 Cent, you got 50 Cent's baby mama, you got Tyler Perry, the actor who's suing Tyler Perry for $260 million.
I heard about that.
The two people in the back, those are the two Democratic, I guess it was Congress or some type of, and the public service, they got assassinated by that other white guy who was a far right person. He came to their house and killed him. He was going on the killing spree. And then you have a couple, the black couple right there, Zaria and her husband, Mr. Carr. They were on live airing each other out, talking about herpes and everything else like that. And then they were being so toxic that basically he decided to kill his wife and then kill himself.
Right. That's what I heard. So right now you're talking about, what you talking about now?
Oh, I was talking about the whole thing with Daphne Joy.
Yes, that's what I was saying. She seems so immature and childish. Like the things that were important to her were so frivolous. Let somebody be giving me 10K. Girl, I would have worked that so different. 10K a month, I would have had me 2 homes.
Now, I ain't gonna swell. The problem with both baby mamas, okay. The first baby mama, okay, so she feels like, even though based on tarot, he did have something to do with her house burning down, but that's because he didn't want her in it anymore. You know, he's petty.
Wait, right? His first baby mama or Daphne?
The first one.
So he burned down his baby mama house?
So mind you, his first son, Curtis, the one that he's always beefing with, that's his mama.
Yeah.
She's been telling the same story for years, right?
Wow, I haven't heard that story. Okay.
Oh yeah. She has paperwork. I mean, as far as the police reports and everything else like that, the house really did burn down. They had nothing. 50 Cent actually got, I believe, sent a care package to his son of 6 pair of jeans and 6 shirts or whatever. Basically, what it is that Daphne Joy reached out to his first baby mama, right? Because she wanted to sue 50 Cent for domestic violence because it was a domestic violence incident. And the problem is, like, how can you reach out to me? I understand we both women, and we had a domestic violence issue as well. But however, when you was with him, you were downing me and throwing shots at me. So why should I defend you? That's how she felt. So that's why I wanted to do a reading. Yeah, Daphne Joy really did feel like they still had feelings. And then she also felt kind of colorist because she's of a different persuasion. She felt love. First baby mama in a way, because whole time it's not just her, it's these men. Because he was shoving the Daphne Joy in the first baby mama's face, especially her child and stuff, right? he was big up in the new child and downgrading their child. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How many kids 50 Cent got? Just the two?
Yes, just the two.
Just the two? Oh, okay.
But see, here's the thing that we know of. Who knows? Who knows how many kids this
Yeah,
man
put that
got?
asterisk. You got that asterisk down at the bottom.
You never freaking know. They can have 50, 11 kids. You'll never know. It's who they claim, girl. But that's the funny part. And if it's based on that, based on what we talking about, just thinking about it. I mean, well, shit, at least he loved the first son enough to claim him, but say, fuck him. I mean, shit. He probably got a couple of kids he ain't never gonna claim.
That part. This niggas right down the street that work at Walmart not claiming kids.
Matter of fact, my uncle was a Rolling Stone. I mean, look, I as far as we know, is 6, but possibly 10 or more.
The same uncle you was just talking about?
Yes, I told you he wasn't a saint. He wasn't a saint.
Well, you did say he was an attractive man. He said he was handsome.
All of my uncles on my mama's side handsome. Matter of fact, some of them look like they could work at 7-Eleven. You know, the Middle Eastern dudes.
Oh, that's what you just said. You did say that.
Yeah, they look Middle Eastern for some reason. I don't know. You know how, but you know what's crazy though? Boys get the good hair.
Sometimes they do.
Boys get good hair out the family. You know what I'm saying? They got that full Middle Eastern hair, right?
Yeah.
Even though my mom hair was thick, but it went down her back, right? She used to have a long, like when she was young, around my age or younger. Matter of fact, in high school, she used to wear a ponytail that just go down her back in a braid.
Nice.
Right? But then as she got older, you know those French rolls and stuff was in. So she used to have a natural French rose with the bamboo earrings and the tracks.
Yes, I just have me a French roll or two.
Yeah, and I remember because matter of fact, here's something crazy, right? You know how you never actually stop seeing people. They pop back in and out of your life eventually, right? Especially if you still live in the same town, right? So the gay guy that always used to do her hair, he used to come over with a big bag and used to be rollers. You know what I'm talking about. And he used to have the white portable hair. You know when you sit under the dryer.
It's collapsible. You could lift it up and put it and do whatever.
Yeah. He would come over every 2 weeks and my mom hair be done. Right? So when my mom actually got sick, right, after she had the heart attack and stuff, guess who rose up? And you're like, how the hell? Where the fuck did you come from after all these years?
Oh, that is so dope. You
never actually are done with people. People will pop back up.
Oh, that's nice. So did he come over there to do your mama hair?
Yeah, but he couldn't do everything that he used to do because technically my mom has brain damage, and technically due to the medication, the worst part is that my mom really loved her hair. And my mom hair started thinning.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they have to do things that,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know it. But I'm like, I know it. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that, I think you're closer to God when, I don't know if you call it being humble or being strict to the real almost.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So it's like when I see my mom is still beautiful.
Of course.
But you see her in the rawest form.
Okay.
used to get her nails done and her feet done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't even know that my mom had chin hair. She used to get waxed. So but you know, when you are in that type of care, then you you don't have no control.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you see the real. And to be honest with you, I used to be an EMC,
Oh,
and
okay,
I was in nursing school, and I went
okay.
all the way into my clinical phase and things like that. But it was a lot that happened. But I was really like in it, right? So
Okay.
then I was a CNA. I was also a home health aide, this, that, and the third. So I see all of it, right? But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't get it until you see your folks.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, you care, but you don't get the
Yeah, you gonna give your family that extra care. You gonna make sure they good. You gonna make sure they even have the best care. You know what I mean?
yeah, but it's the realizing your own immortality as well.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something because mind you, like in the beginning of the video, I told you that I grew up with everybody. Nobody had passed away. I had 6 grandparents. Because both sides, no, I mean, because my grandma on my mom's side, she was married initially, had 6 kids, divorced because it was a domestic violence type of thing. She met her second husband. Her second husband adopted all 6 kids because the first
Okay.
husband went down to Birmingham and married a whole new female, had 12 kids.
Wow.
I had 3 grandparents on that side, but if you ask me, I know no granddaddy but my second granddaddy. You understand?
Yeah.
So, because he was very pivotal, and he passed away in 2014, but he is still with me, girl. Like he be jumping in my dreams, all types of stuff. Then I got
Oh,
the
wow. That's cool. That's cool.
yeah, so I'm cool with that. He was sick too. He was on dialysis. He had CHF. He was going through syncope. You know what syncope is, right?
No.
Syncope is when you're going through congestive heart failure and you start passing out.
You start passing out?
Yeah, like with congestive heart failure, I understand the reason why they give you a pacemaker is because of syncope.
Oh.
Because your heart
So
stops.
what? Like, how does that happen? You just be sitting there and just fall asleep or just fall
Okay,
over like
like one time my grandfather went to the 24-hour store. They knew us because, we grew up. We literally were from the neighborhood. We grew up
yeah.
the same 24-hour store. I remember the same people who are the cashiers now were kids when I were kids. And we were,
Right.
that type of thing, right? My grandfather took my little cousins to the 24-hour store to get their little snacks, and he went to the ATM machine, because you gotta get the money for the snacks.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you'll be having a regular day, and you just pass out because your heart
Wow.
stops because you're going through congestive heart failure. So he had to
What?
get a pacemaker. That's one
I
reason
didn't
why
know
you get a
that.
pacemaker.
I did not know that. I thought, yeah, well, I figured the pacemaker is to regulate your heartbeat, but I didn't know it was like something that came along with that. I did not know that you would just fall out.
Yeah, because see, like, the whole time, mind you, my grandfather had hypertension too. Like, he had open heart surgery before, right? And that happened because he had a heart attack. But he was going through diabetes, and he ended up having to do dialysis. Now, what the problem is when you have diabetes, when you're on dialysis, the problem is congestive heart failure and dialysis goes hand in hand,
Oh.
right? And it doesn't help if you have previous heart conditions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So he was going through CHF and he was going through syncope. He had a pacemaker, right? And the way my grandfather died was that he had went to the cardiologist with my grandma at Kaiser Permanente. The cardiologist, real good friends to my dad, right? My granddad. And he had checked the pacemaker, checked his heart and stuff. Everything was cool. And what ended up happening was he comes from the cardiologist, and mind you, like big medical centers like Kaiser, they have their own garage. And my grandma and my grandfather was going towards the car in the garage, and my grandfather, mind you, my grandma's short, right? She got a Coke bottle shape, but she just short. You know those short girls with the big butts. So my grandfather always, crack jokes and be like, "Where you at, Sandra?" So he hit the "Where you at, Sandra?" and he was looking around. And my grandma was like, because that was the joke. And my grandma would be like, "I'm over here. Here I am." But this time he was still looking around and he passed out.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. And she had to perform CPR. A nurse that was actually just so happened to be going to her car seeing it. And then she started, she called and then she started taking over CPR. His actual cardiologist ran out into the garage and started CPR. And when he did CPR all the way into the emergency room, when they got to the emergency room, and they had to call it because he wouldn't come back. They
yeah.
And that actually scarred his cardiologist because that was the first patient that passed.
Oh, wow. The cardiologist?
There was this, because mind you, he really liked my grandfather. That's for one. And for two, he actually was doing the CPR.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, what did you say happened to did something happen to the cardiologist?
No, he broke down crying. CPR is not easy.
Not at all. Not at all.
He got down to his white beater.
You said what?
He got down to his undershirt. He was sweating.
It is very, very, yeah. Whew. Yeah. And they want you to do that 30 times and do a girl. No, it's a lot.
So he was doing the rounds of that, and it didn't work out. My grandfather passed, but you got to think about how people leave their mark. Whole time he actually went to my grandfather's funeral.
Oh, nice.
So, and he still talked to my grandma and stuff. Just check in and stuff, because that's actually the first patient that he had to do that with. Let me be more technical. There was patients that he passed away, but that was his first patient when his hands on.
Yeah, somebody that he's cared for. He just came in there, checked on him. That would mess with me more, that they just came in and I checked you, and then you go in the garage and like I would be thinking, okay, did I do something wrong? You know what I mean? But even though you're educated, that can happen at any time. Hence, why you have the pacemaker. You know what I mean? So.
You don't know. You just hope for the best. But that's what happened on that side. I had 3 grandparents on that side, and I had 3 grandparents on my father's side. So, I had 3 grandparents and a great grandma, and the whole time she would not let me call her great grandma. I had to call her Miss Gertrude. Miss Gertrude lived in 98. And the problem was, as she got older, her children died before her. But the problem was she was going through dementia after a while. She didn't really realize that she was at her children's funeral.
Okay.
So that was a blessing for her, because technically you don't want to outlive your children.
Right. Nobody wants to do that.
So I think about it as it being a blessing for her. Okay. With my father's side, I mean, I'm just giving y'all what I'm going through, right? But I'm still doing everything I'm doing. But with my father's side, I had my grandma. She was married the first time, and she had 2 kids. My father and the oldest uncle, right? Then she got divorced and then remarried, and then they had the youngest one. So I have 2 uncles and my father on my grandma's side, right?
Okay.
And then I have a great grandma that lived to 99.
Okay.
So I had these people, right? So my second grandfather ended up passing away, but he had a stroke and he ended up brain without oxygen. He ended up being brain damaged, like my mom is right now.
Okay.
But my grandma said, you know what? I'm going to hold it down and we're going to do what I got to do. We ain't got to pull no plug because you never know what's going to happen. So
Okay.
she did that to the end and she kept him. And he was a veteran, so he was at the VA. He didn't have to go to a regular nursing home. He went to the VA nursing home. And
Okay.
we would watch him. Nails was always clean. He was always clean, cared for. This was my first time looking after my grandfather and that whatever. We was changing diapers, everything else like that.
Was
And
he coherent?
you have to think about it, right? Due to brain damage, you're not going to be you. But
I mean, was he awake? Was his eyes open?
yes.
On his own. Oh, okay. Okay.
But he will be considered like my mom is considered, because mind you, but they consider people, right? Because you have to do things on demand, right? For a doctor to consider you out of a coma, your eyes, like for instance, when they have like the little light, they got a photo light. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like if you say someone's name, they're supposed to be able to answer. If you rub the sole of their foot, they're supposed to react. If that's not happening, they still call it a coma.
Okay.
Okay. So, but you never know what happened through the years, right? So through the time that he was in the VA nursing home, he would react and things like that, but it's just not what would be considered medically viable, even though it's viable. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you play with him, he'd be like, "Hey, granddaddy," we take a little face. He'd be like, he probably put his arm like, "Stop messing with me."
Yeah.
And we say good morning, and then not look like he will be actually moving his mouth to say good morning. But it's like that.
Okay, I get that.
So he ended up passing, and he ended up passing on his own, And so it was things like that happening. But then with my mom, it got closer to home, and I said, well, oh, it's a little different because I'm like, I got all cried out, girl. From that day, I promise you, from the moment it happened, my sister and my grandma called me at 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, wow.
So me and my husband, we went up to what was it at? Largo Town Center in Maryland. It's a hospital there, new hospital. We went up there. Mind you, they do got good food though, girl. I ain't even gonna hold you. They food is bomb. So we went up there, and mind you, she was in the emergency room initially, right? And you know how you don't know when it's serious yet until you realize it's serious. My sister's crying. She's still in her night clothes because, mind you, the sheriff had came to the house with the flashlight and was knocking on the door. And she came down, and they told her that, and she had passed out at the door. And basically, they brought her down there in pajamas, okay?
Okay.
So, because my mom worked really early, like she worked real early, so she was on the road at 3 a.m.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying? She was on the road.
Oh.
Matter of fact, she was on the road at 2 a.m.
Oh,
They
wow.
didn't find her till 3 a.m. on the side of the road.
So did she hit anything, or did the car just come to a stop, or what happened?
You know how when you feel, I mean, I can only assume she started feeling something coming and tried
Okay.
to get to the side of the road. So it was like a
Okay.
crash where her car
Yeah.
got totaled, but she didn't like suffer any injuries from that.
Okay. Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And somebody
Oh, I was
eventually
like,
seen her.
wow. Oh,
And you never know. That's how you know you never know. And my mom just caught a heart attack based on stress.
off of stress, not from the job. I hope not from the job.
No, it wasn't from the job at all.
Okay, good. I was about to say, trying to get to work. Lord.
Mm-hmm. But that's another story time. I'm gonna tell you.
Girl, you done told the story. You done told two, three
No, no,
stories.
no. When I told you a story time, what I mean by it's gonna be another day of a story time, girl. We gonna get into it, but I don't know. I'm just really into oversharing right now and still talking about the stuff that I'm talking about.
I know. That's why normally I would be asking you questions, but I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to stay focused because we were talking about something else, but I don't want to
Yeah,
take
but
you
I
off.
just went to that. Because, girl, my uncle dying, girl. Like, I don't know. And I'm all cried out. I'm about to be honest. I'm laughing, but I am all cried out, girl. I don't know whether to cry, laugh. I don't know. No.
Do whatever you feel as long as you are being you. If you feel emotional, cry. If you want to laugh, laugh. You can cry and laugh at the same damn time. Okay, just do
Girl,
whatever.
I was coming
Don't
from
hold
the
anything
hospital in
back.
traffic. I was coming from the hospital in traffic today, feeling like a crazy person because I'm laughing because we still gonna joke even at the worst of times with each other,
Yeah.
but I'm crying. I don't know what to do.
No, I know. I know exactly what you mean because I remember with my aunt. Was it with my aunt or no? With my uncle. We was at the funeral home dying, like dying laughing when we was in. I was like, oh my god, we got to get out of this place. They probably ain't never had a family in here laughing on their way out. Like, this is crazy. So I get that. It's always humor, but yeah. If you feeling emotional, be emotional. Don't be that. Oh, I have to be strong. I need to be strong. Like all that.
Yeah, but it's so crazy because when I mean by I need another story time, and that's gonna be a personal story time that's gonna be in the title. But it was a lot of friction. Like I got a really big family, but people would never know it because it's a lot of friction.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
it's like being as though all that had been going on. When I came into that room today, all I seen was my uncle.
Yeah.
And he lost so much. I don't know what the hell, but he lost all that weight in his arms and his legs. And it's like all the fluid just, build up in his stomach.
Okay.
Because his liver had basically gave out.
Oh.
And when I mean like he's light skinned, cute, handsome light skinned man. Always been. Do you know he is darker than me? He 50
Oh,
cents.
wow.
He's 50 cents complexion.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. See stuff like that. It's just a crazy situation because it was my sister had took ill years ago. This was during COVID, like where they were letting people go in. At the time, they weren't, but they were letting our family go in because my sister she was terminally ill. And I was like, I don't know if I really want to go. Like, I don't want that to be the last memory of my sister. Her looking, my brother and my dad went, and my brother told me when he walked in the room, he just started crying. And I was like, oh no. You know what I mean? Like, I know I can't handle that. Like, I just know I can't. So I was going to go because it's my sister and I want to go and all these other things. And then my daughter, who of course she knows me well, she was like, Mom, do you really think you should go? Like she was like telling me, like, do you really think you can handle that? Because I already know I won't be able to sleep for like days. Like when certain things happen and don't sit well with my spirit, I'll be up for days, not able to sleep. So I told my brother and I was telling him what was going on. Then he was like, no, he was like, I don't think you're going to be able to handle this. Like, you know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
get and when especially when somebody looks so emaciated, they don't look like themselves and they're literally withering away. And that's the last image that you have of them where they're fully functional, talking to you, laying in the hospital bed, kind of like I've experienced that as well, you know? So I don't know. For me, my psyche and things like that, I can't handle stuff like that. I can't process it.
Yes. Like, is this you? Okay. Is this you? Right? I don't like going and looking at bodies at funerals.
But see, the thing is, I can do that. I'm a girl. I'm a weird girl because I remember when my aunt passed away, we were at the funeral home for like days, maybe 2 days or so, doing the wake and whatnot. I was there for so long. I just started going into the other rooms and looking at the other people in the rooms, and it didn't bother me. That doesn't bother me, which is weird for most
But see,
people.
here's the weirdest part, right? Okay.
Say it
So
again.
here's the weirdest part about me. So, like, I got my EMC license out of high school, and
Okay.
I got it through Eastern
Yeah,
Senior High
I mean,
School.
full on EMT in the ambulance and all that.
Yes. So,
What?
yes,
Wow.
I was 18, and initially I was volunteering because, right? So that's another story time. I'm just gonna put it in, right? Because people don't be doing like, look, I be doing stuff. So what was going on was I immediately ended up working for Lifestar. Oh, I lost my train of thought. Damn, girl, I cannot. But oh my god, I'm gonna just stop because I lost my train of thought. Go ahead, girl.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna get it back because
I'm gonna give it back.
I was like, no, because I know what I'm talking about, right? But I lost my train.
Yeah, it happens. Okay, so look, did you want to finish your reading? Did you? I mean, what was you
girl.
on?
So this is what you already know. So thank you for getting me back on track, girl, because I be out here about to cry. No, because I don't want to cry. That's my live tonight. That's why I made sure I did it tonight anyway, because I don't want to do it another night. I want to do it tonight because I promised at 9. But what happened was all this stuff was happening, and then around like 8:30. My grandma and my sister called, they both called me and we're all talking, and then the inevitable is coming up about final arrangements and things like that and getting prepared. So that's where I was at. So
I mean, a lot of people like to use YouTube as a checkout and just like, let me get away from real life and come over here and do something fun.
Checking out, girl. I'm checking out. I'm giving you back the room key. Take it all. Hold on. I'm on my Diddy stuff. Take the baby oil, the Astro Glide, the room key.
Okay.
Take all of it. I don't even want to play no more. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm checking out.
But what we had gotten to though, what I was reading about, what I'm getting from this is that 50 Cent's baby mama isn't lying. But also 50 Cent baby mama still likes him. Daphne Joy picked up on that. And Daphne Joy, being a competitive girl who feels like her ethnicity and her skin color is superior based on
Yeah.
what these men have told her, felt like she can persuade her way in, which actually did happen, and she did down that girl. Yes, she did. But she didn't
Mm.
realize that she was getting the same man that this black woman was getting,
Exactly.
basically. And that's where everybody falls short at. You know, everybody feels like, and I'm trying to figure this shit out. I don't understand this. Even come down to friends. Do you know I had friends that was friends with me for a long time, right? And the friends that they befriended did not like me. And I told them, do you know that I'm a representation of you in a way? So if they don't
Mm.
like me, they don't like something about you. And if they're going to do that to me and you'll watch that, they'll do it to you.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't see how y'all didn't catch that. And then they come back and be like, well, they did this, that, and the third to me. I didn't think they'd do it to me because that's not how they present it. Well, I told you. So, yeah. So, 50 Cent's baby mom felt like because Daphne Joy had a lawsuit against 50 Cent for domestic violence, and she was going to actually try to get his first baby mom involved. And so his first baby mom was like, I understand, I'm all for women's rights, but however, when she was with him, she was throwing so many jabs at me, which she was. And I felt that intuitively that she was.
Yeah.
You can't now tell me to fight for you. How you feel about that?
You know what? I haven't had like a bitter baby mama situation, and I'm not a bitter baby mama myself. So I really don't know. I haven't had anything about that, but I could see Daphne Joy thinking, because, well, I don't know what she is, exotic, if you will, quote unquote.
She's
She
from
probably
Thailand or something.
okay. Yeah, that's what she giving Bali, Thai, something like that. One of them type of Cambodia type of places or something. So she probably do.
Cambodia looks like that. She got it's the cheeks and she got that structure in her face, like she wanted Genghis Khan's descendants.
Right, some type of what is that, Mongolian type of stuff or whatever. She's a
Yeah.
beautiful girl. She's a beautiful girl. I've looked on her IG recently. Like once I figured out who she was, I went on her beautiful girl, got a nice body and everything. Like she does, like she's an influencer, like a brand influencer or lifestyle influencer, if you will.
But I
So
think
yeah.
she get around though, because I did another reading about her, and because mind you, you know how she was trying to say that P Diddy was forcing her to do free calls. Do you
Yeah,
know
that
P
girl wasn't getting forced to do shit. I think she liked the free. She liked the free cars.
She was being flown out, and see what being flown out, they don't tell you what they do when they're getting flown out.
That part. That part,
So
but that's joy to me. What I picked up on my own thing when I analyze people with my discernment is that she has daddy issues. Something is wrong with that girl with the daddy issues. As beautiful as she is, nobody would suspect her to be doing the things that she's doing. And her immaturity level, basically comparing like,
yeah,
oh, well, you're out here with her and you took her, let's say you took her to the Four Seasons and I'm only getting, Motel 6. She's not complaining about the activity. She's complaining about the details of it all, which is weird. I'm like,
you know how
girl,
you can tell when somebody got daddy issues? I'm gonna give you a good example. My daddy and my granddaddies was all in my life, right? I would never call another man daddy.
daddy, that
Mm-mm.
part.
Can't do it. It's a respect level. You ain't on that. I'll call you
Yeah.
boo, big bear. I don't know, Poppy. I don't know anything but daddy.
I have my daddy in my life, but I will call my man daddy from time to time. I'm not gonna play that game with it. But yes, people do be having issues. She got major issues. Some is really with her, like the maturity level you touched on, and that she's childish, but it's something else. Because she would still be with Diddy today. If Diddy did not get arrested, she would be with him today doing
Because it
free calls.
was never about her being abused.
It's
It was
not.
never, in fact, do you know that she never actually was physically abused by P. Diddy? In fact, it was after the fact that Cassie dropped her lawsuit,
Exactly.
and she seen what Cassie lawsuit was given and how he settled. She started planning on her own, and then she started initiating stuff. Like she initiated violence. And I don't understand how can the prosecution be like he abused her when she's initiating violence. She was slamming this man's head into a marble table.
The thing is, it has nothing to do with violence. Like people are getting caught. For the RICO, and they don't care nothing about the sex and the sex and the this and the that. They care about him paying the prostitutes with with bad boy money and stuff like that. The transaction of it all. But
though.
With her, I agree with you. This is what stood out about her. She was older when she got with Diddy. So he wasn't able to manipulate her and play her the way he does with them young-minded girls. But the thing about her is she's still immature. But she's not as immature as Cassie being 21, 22. She was getting 10K a month. You know what I mean? She was like, we're going to do this on some business type shit. On some grown woman.
She sold herself short. That's what happened. Because she looked at Young Miami, and Young Miami was getting a bag.
Exactly. And that's what she cared about. She didn't care about the details.
No, the other part is
about how it looked. She just cared about how it looked, and that Young Miami is getting seen and nobody's seeing her, so she want people to see that she with Diddy too, but Diddy ain't shit. But you want people to see that he's with you.
She's an influencer, okay? So the biggest thing about an influencer is that you gotta take pictures of your plate. You gotta take pictures of your church and things like that. She couldn't do that with him. It was on the hush hush. So because mind you, that's money too. You see a rich ass plate, a rich ass location, and things like that. That's money. People is going to look at it, right? So she also felt like she was losing out on money with that. And then when you look at Young Miami getting Chanel stores shut down for her, talking about some act bad and just money just flipping and da. You know, I don't care what nobody say. I appreciate Young Miami's hustle.
I like Young Miami. I like the city girls, period. But I like young Miami. I do like her as a person. But the thing with Daphne Joy, I don't know if you've seen her IG page. She has a swimsuit line or a clothing line or some type of line or whatever. Now, wherever she's at, if that is the home that Diddy is currently paying for to this day, even though he's in jail, he's still paying her mortgage. Riddle me that. But the house looks beautiful. It does look nice. But girl, you could have flipped that and did something else with that money. Been stashing the money, put half up, half here. But I know Diddy wasn't handing her the money. He was probably, just sending it to the landlord and whatnot. And she was getting the 10K a month, but she also was getting whatever, while they was hanging out. Well, I guess at the hotel.
Let's be more technical. He asked this girl about he put her on the what do you call it when you put kids on an allowance, right? He asked her how much. She said 15, he said 10, right?
Yeah.
So okay, 10K a month. She decides to get a home that's 10K a month. That's stupid. I would have got me a little house that was like 5K a month. My child would be okay because the fact of the matter is I'm still getting child support. I'm still getting free money from from 50.
Yeah.
No matter how you say it, no matter how you slice it, I'm still getting free money from 50. You put it in your head that you was gonna be the main bitch, my man, my money, my mansion. You should have thought like, look, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So guess what? You want to pay for something? Go ahead and pay for this little penthouse.
Exactly.
And I'm gonna keep the rest because it's $10K, and I'm going to keep the rest, and I'm going to put it in my savings account. So when this time, ain't no love lost. I'ma suck D like I like to suck D.
Exactly.
You let me suck other men, and guess what? You let me pick out the men. Only thing you want to do is watch. Yes, get that baby oil. You get that extra glide. Yes, girl. Yes. I'm gonna get my back blown out, and you can watch because I don't have to F you all the time. I don't even have to act like I like you all the time. Talking about some, yeah, baby, I want to freak off. Yeah, you do. I'd be like, yeah, I want to freak off, and I want my Chanel bags.
Exactly.
Yeah, you supposed to be feet and then stuff. It's how you do stuff. You know, and I'm like, well, damn, if a hood bitch like me, if I was single and I was out here being outside, being a city girl, and I had the choice with a rich nigga, you got me fucked up. I'm not about to spend it all on a motherfucking house every month. What the fuck are you talking about?
Thank you. But that's what I was saying. She was getting the
money everywhere. Money would be in my titty, underneath the stairs. It'll be buried, all types of shit.
All kinds of stuff. And I would not be using that full $10K on one payment. Nah, I'm gonna split that. I'm gonna do all kinds of stuff with it.
You got me be that bitch. You know when you get somebody $20 to go down to the corner store and get you this and that and bring your change back. I'll be hiding the change.
Okay. Shit.
I would have been hiding the change. You got me for I don't know. They make
that did so much more. You had so much opportunity to do so much more, but you settled. That it's so crazy how Cassie has her story dealing with the same man, same situation as to what's going on. Daphne Joy dealing with the same man, same situation, but how they both went about it differently. You know what I mean? Like, girl, you could do so much more. You could do so much more. But you were happy with your 10K and getting your hair done. And you know she not paying for shit. She wasn't paying that. This is what I'm saying. You got the 10K plus, plus whatever else was being, transactional or whatever. So she got the 10K.
What you snitching for? What are you snitching for?
I think she's snitching because you know what? What did that did you know what? What they had on her was the drug trafficking. That's what they had on her because she had.
I'd rather sit there and make you prove it.
No, that's what
you know what I mean by I'd rather sit there and make you prove it. At any given time, all people could have threw their motherfucking phone and try to hoot you. Look for it.
They did try to do that, and then they found that them other two phones. Shit, they done found.
I would have had a text now throwaway phone, girl. I would have had a mobile pay as you go phone.
Man. They literally on the phone texted. I don't think we should be texting and talking on the phone.
Yeah, they ain't keep it tight. They ain't keep it tight. That's what happened.
Not at all. Not at all.
I'm gonna ask you this.
Look, so this is a question off topic but on topic. Are they gonna call KK in? Is KK gonna get her own case?
Girl, that's you know what? Let me go ahead on and read on that, girl.
Yeah,
let me show you me. Is it show? Okay. Hey, girl. Hey. Let's do it. Let me ask. Because I don't know. Because to be honest with you, I feel like it ain't fair. The reason why I feel like it's not fair is because all parties that took the stand against P. Diddy was basically forced to, and they got immunity. Right?
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're going to take P. Diddy and KK down, What about all these other drug users and drug abusers and sex hormones? Like,
Are
nah.
they doing Rico? Are they doing Rico? It's people getting
Oh, yeah,
high and having sex
they're
every
proving
day, but they not committing Rico. They not committing Rico, doing sex and getting high. So,
No. They are. They are. They're
oh,
part
you're
of.
saying like what? Some other celebrities?
No, I'm talking about everybody who took that stand was a part of RICO. If they never had a plea deal immunity, not plea deal, but if they never had immunity, they will be charged too.
Yes, yes.
And see, the issue is for me is that I don't like the fact that y'all gonna put it all on him, knowing that y'all were willing participants due to the fact that he had money.
Yeah, and he's in charge, and he knows that. He is in charge. He's the one with the money. He's the one doing the coercion. He's the one making them do stuff. True,
But
because he
they're
has the
not
money.
making him do any. They're not. I'll be honest with you. It's so many women.
Hold on. Before we even continue, I'm not gonna play semantics because I said making. Yeah, he's the boss. The boss makes me do stuff. My boss makes me do stuff. Not that I'm forced to do it, but
You're
yeah, I do.
right, though. You're right. You're right. I fuck with that.
So I mean, it's just crazy. Did you see Armand today? Armand was like, "Oh, he's cooked. Like this is it." They did
Yeah,
the whole
because what they did was that they did the summary.
breakdown.
They did the summary and they brought it all together. Now, here's what I'm saying, though. Here's how I kind of feel. And it's certain people that like Queen Amadeus and stuff. Like I listen to them too. And the thing is, for me, is that it's not that Diddy did a full out Rico. What they're doing is making a Rico fit. And the thing is with me personally is that when things like this happen and it's successful, it get brought into legislation and laws and stuff. So that means that, bitch, you can do something and we can make a Rico fit for you. That's the only thing I don't like.
And the thing about it is, did he piss off somebody he wasn't supposed to piss off, and this is why it even transpired? Because I agree with you. There's other people doing the same thing Diddy do right now as we speak.
And do you know for for a long time now, the ratio of people being hit with Ricos are black men.
Really?
Yes. But it's about making a Rico fit, right? They tried to make a Rico fit with YSL. Now, don't get me wrong. I did a reading. I do feel like they did a lot of that shit. Okay, they did do it. But the difference is them niggas was on code. That's the difference.
Oh, you talking about YSL. Yeah.
Just on code. That's all it is. They did a lot of the shit that they said they did. Okay. But when it comes to doing stuff like this, the real issue is with me is that we got to think about the future, right? So if we're actually based on technicalities, making shit fit into Rico, what's going to end up happening is, because you know how they do case laws and shit, right? So they'll say, oh, this, that, and the third happened, and it's valid because in Jones versus Smith, right?
Yeah.
So what's going to eventually happen is you gonna have a dude that was just cheating on his girlfriend and getting the other female to meet him at a hotel, but while they at this hotel, they both get high. Now you can say that he sex trafficked this girl, and because he forced her to get high, like you can actually start fitting shits.
You can. I agree with that.
That's what I don't like. Now, for me personally, You should have just did. Honestly speaking, you should have just did him with domestic violence and let a whole bunch of people come in with civil suits. Cause mind you, if I'm a rich ass nigga, let's be real.
Well,
Do you really think?
what you're saying is logical, but what I said was, did he piss off somebody he wasn't supposed to piss
Yeah,
off? Like we all know that. We don't know. We don't know who is behind what. If it's the what is the Bubule or Illuminati or
the
Clive
gay
Davis
brulee or
or
the
whatever.
Illuminati. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
So whatever's going on over there, he just pissed somebody because there's no reason for this to be in the forefront like that. They leaked the tape about Kathy. The tape had got for. We found all this shit out. So this is
after a
something that
while,
they
it should
have
just sound
set
like
up.
a bunch of rich ass crackheads to me.
Yeah, a bunch of junkies. A bunch of junkies. Nothing that they are saying is different than anybody. Well, I'm in Cali, being off a Fed. You know what I mean? Like this is somebody who was on Skid Row. Y'all acting like crackheads and literally having crackhead lover fights. What?
Give me a second. I'm gonna go off screen for 1 second, but keep talking. Keep talking.
Oh no, that's fine. Yeah. So I agree with that. They are millionaire crackheads, and Diddy don't went to rehab how many times? I think they said he went to rehab anywhere from 4 to 6 times. Like what? All throughout the years. It's 2025, and we barely just finding out that the public and stuff is barely finding out that Diddy's a crackhead. Like what? That's crazy. But you out here motivational speaking, getting people to vote, doing the lifestyle, doing your Ciroc. So this is why you never be a lover of man. Because you don't know what the fuck they doing. They ain't no different than you, you know? And then he going to church and he doing spiritual retreats and doing all kinds of shit. And in the midst of that, beating Cassie's ass while you in the spiritual retreat. What?
What's spiritual about that?
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking
You
about?
spiritually beating her ass too?
What
What was spiritual?
they say spare the rod and spoil the child, so I guess so. Shit, he took it real. Yes.
He said he gonna beat you on the spiritual
Girl,
realm to get you to understand.
I don't. I just really. It's just crack. And then all the other females that he was fucking that weren't in the testimony. You know what I mean? That weren't brought up. You think he was just fucking these three girls right here, or the two? Is
No,
it the two?
I guarantee you, and you know what's sad? Now, people think because I have like different opinions that I'm not pro woman and stuff like that, but I know based on life experience that even though it's the same dude, every female does not get the same version of that dude.
True. That is
So,
true.
because of the fact that Daphne Joy did not get beat on until she decided to initiate violence, and Young Miami did not get beat on, I don't believe he beat on every female he talked to.
I doubt it. I really doubt it. And now remember, I'm not sure if it was in Armand's or if it was on BJ's. They were saying like the women that he flaunted around were the women that already had some type of prestige. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like a give and take kind of thing. Cassie was new.
But
Cassie had just come
but whose fault is that? Even with Cassie actually signed her life over to Diddy. Technically.
really did, literally did, talking about 10 albums. 10 albums, girl.
You
You knew
didn't
that
even sing long enough for 10 albums.
10 albums, girl, bye.
We don't even like you for 3 albums. You had
Girl, do we even know 3 of your songs? Do we even know 3 of your songs?
all
How
I
about
know is I've been waiting so long. I'm here to answer
everybody knows
your call.
me and you? Everybody knows me and you. And then I just found out that Ryan Leslie made that song. Diddy didn't even
Yeah,
make that song.
he didn't even
Ryan
make
made
it.
that song. That's crazy.
But the way I'm thinking about it, though, I think about it like this, and that's what I wanted to ask you, right? Because, people without money go through shit like this, right?
Right.
And I'll be honest, because we late night. I went through something like this. You know, you mess with a dude. He wants to try to share you. All right?
Huh?
And the problem is with that, there's two things you can do. You can say, fuck no, get the fuck out of my face with that. Or you can acquiesce and it opens a door.
Yeah.
Right? But the problem is you got to be steadfast. You got to have boundaries with these dudes.
Yes.
These
with
dudes.
Every boundaries.
With these men, to be honest, P. Diddy is no different than a dude from the block. He just got money. Right? Yep. So when the dude from the block want to share you with his friend, guess what he's doing? He's watching his friend have sex with you. That's voyeurism, isn't it?
Yes.
And then if you let that happen, it will happen again and again and again. Right? So then you thinking you gonna be the one and be the main girl, but the problem is you didn't have those boundaries set up. And as far as he is concerned, even though he won't tell you that, it's already innate within him to not respect you.
Right.
So that goes for people that are broke and with people with money. So what is the difference between Daphne and Cassie than Shaniqua and Tasha from around the way?
What is the difference between Cassie and Daphne than a bitch standing at the corner on the street light? Nothing. The only difference is that they was going to the hotel and people was coming to them. Like, that's it.
Technically, because they were actually being funded by him and they was actually relying on him for a lifestyle. Just like the men were prostitutes, they were prostitutes.
The bitches that are standing out on the corner 2:00 in the morning, y'all would be having to fuck for 3 to 4 days. So you're actually work. You're telling the person, I'm sore, you don't want to do it, and they're making you do it. And you're telling
no, let me get it right. I'm gonna tell you this. The man isn't making you do it. The tangibles are making you do it.
True.
The stability, security, and wealth is making you do it. So how can you really, like, honestly speaking, I'm gonna be real. You can't really blame P. Diddy for that. P. Diddy just so happened to have the money and have the stability, security, and wealth. But what you were looking for was the stability, security, and wealth. Even with Cassie told her friend, when her friend told her, why don't you just stop talking to him? She said, well, who else am I going to date? Jay-Z already took it.
He's already taken. Very true. Very true.
At this point, we already know what you're doing.
Right. But to answer that question, it's illegal. It's illegal. Prostitutes stand outside because they want to. Because they want to get crackers.
The problem is, not only a John get locked up, the prostitute get locked up too. So I'm like, how come the prostitutes ain't getting locked up? Because ain't that illegal too?
Now that's true. With this one, it's the stipulation of sex trafficking outside of prostitution. That is the
trafficking. If in fact I'm only telling you yes, because here's the thing: they want to say that he put something over their head, but in reality, he knew what. Because see, here's the thing: I'm so sorry for doing this. Like, I feel bad, like I'm taking up for abuse, but I'm not. The real problem is when people think that it's a couple of things going on. For one, people don't realize that people with money know that people without money is using them. They don't want, they act like people with money don't see that. And they act like because they see you doing that, they're going to use you too. That's the other part, right? But
use you for what? What do you mean? You use them how?
Like, for instance, a lot of people see people with money and they want to use them for something. Say for instance,
What I'm saying is using how in this specific situation. Using how. How did Cassie use Diddy?
Okay. What she used Diddy for is status, elevation, a boost in career.
No, I'm talking about like, yes, I will say all that, but financially,
That was her whole goal.
That is part of
from one man to another, right? She was messing with Ryan Leslie, right?
Yes.
Whole time Ryan Leslie was so much older than her. And mind you, in the testimony, she will make you think that she never did this, that, and the third before until she met P. Diddy. Like she never gave oral and had adult sex.
Yeah.
Until she met P. Diddy. But then you're 19 fucking with a grown ass man. I was 19 fucking with a grown ass man. And I tell you right now, that nigga ain't want no ice cream.
Right.
So that was a lie off the gate. I'm not stupid. I'm disillusioned. I don't believe fairy tales. Okay, I just don't. I've been through too much to believe fairy tales. You know what I'm saying? You are not 19 messing with a grown ass Ryan Leslie and not fucking
Thank you.
Don't lie to me. You're not 19 fucking with a grown ass man who can have grown ass sex with people their age, and you're not sucking dick and fucking.
Go on. I'm like, go on.
just throw it out there. You are. So when she's saying all this, you went from Ryan Leslie, who made me and you, to go to P. Diddy because P. Diddy has a bigger name than Ryan Leslie. He does.
Yeah, very much so, especially at that time.
P. Diddy name is solidified in rock hip hop culture, period. No matter if it's good, bad, or indifferent. He does. And he got money. And he said he seen something in your skinny ass because she was skinny as shit to me and you. So he seen something in your pretty face, skinny ass. And mind you, you look Aztecian anyway. I mean,
what? You said she look what?
Aztec.
Oh, I was about to Aztecian. She's the black.
For me, the African American community is going to say you look absolutely gorgeous because the beauty standard says that you look gorgeous. You know?
Yeah. So she's Filipino, black, and Mexican. Her mom is black and Mexican, and her dad is Filipino. I did not know that. I did not. I thought she was Mexican this whole time.
Shit. I don't know, but she. For me, what I see is a female that is aesthetically pleasing to the black community because she doesn't look black. So they was gonna already hold her to it. She had the whole appeal. Her voice ain't crank like a K. Michelle or nothing, but formally work on it.
She's a performer or entertainer performer. She is not about to sing and blow the house down and do something.
She is a model. She's really a model wanting to be. She's just a model. That wanted to do more things that was already on the drugs that she said that she ain't never do, but her friends said they was getting high all day every day. It was getting high. And they liked the fact that P. Diddy had the good drugs.
Yeah, but that was before or after she met Diddy. Her and her home. I think before she would just do weed.
She was doing drugs. She was doing more than weed before P. Diddy.
No, I don't receive the timeline because what was her homegirl? Karen or
that girl that look. What I'm gonna say is this: how I really be feeling, and people need to stop it. First of all, y'all be saying, not you, but the world be saying weed is a gateway drug. When you want to get high as hell, what you're going to do is you're going to smoke as much weed as possible. And after a while, that weed don't work the same. So you got to do other shit. right? So her homegirl was doing other shit, and she was her homegirl would talk. Her homegirl talked about the fact that they tried to get off of drugs. That's how much they were on drugs.
That wasn't with the Terry girl. That was with the Banner girl, Bonner.
But
That was with.
she said that they tried to get off the drugs, and they said, "Well, how did y'all try to get off the drugs? Oh, we will cook, bitch. You're cooking."
Yeah, I remember.
Bitch, you was high cooking.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, y'all were good. Okay.
Bitch, you was high cooking. I know some crackheads who will make a mean ass Thanksgiving meal while high.
Okay.
I used to talk to drug dealers, and you know when they gave out ticks, you know what a tick is, right?
No.
Okay, the tick is okay. Well, you ain't got no money right now. I'm gonna give you this tick, right? I'm gonna give you this and this, and you're gonna have to give it to me back. But see what a crackhead do, they gonna make sure they clean your house.
Yeah.
Make a meal. And you need a room for you and your old lady to fuck in. Go ahead and get a room. Because you done ticked me out too. And I ain't really got no money. So yeah, go ahead and have my room to screw your old lady in. And you and your old lady can get a meal. You see what I'm saying? Like a
trade-off. They don't have no money, but they just gonna do some trading. Bartering, if you will.
I mean, I'm not dumb. That's what I'm trying to say. I grew up in the hood. I know what the fuck this shit is. I'm not illusioned by poor them, they're all victims. No, they're not just all victims. No, they're not.
Right.
You can be victimized and not be a victim.
That is very much true.
And I think both parties was victimized, to be honest with you.
Who?
I think that simultaneously, because two things can be true. I feel like simultaneously, P. Diddy did have an ego. He did have a God complex. He was this, that, and the third. But also, people were only hovering around him to get what he had.
Yeah.
So you are victimizing, but you're also being victimized. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even though I don't think Diddy was anywhere near a victim, what I honestly think, this is my whole theory, is that well, not even so much a whole theory to it. When he got with Biggie, and then Biggie was about to leave, he made sure that nobody was able ever to leave him again. Everybody got stuck with them horrible contracts, and he made sure the money. He made the money.
When they was talking about how Biggie, even though he had money, he couldn't get no girls, and so they had him. It'd be hand-me-down girls, like Tupac and Slide
girl. Girl, as long as you get money.
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I remember a story, right? Because I be listening to stuff. I forgot who I was listening to. And they was talking about how Pac was sliding him females. You know the thoughts that be around. And he'll try to look out or whatever and try to get him some females. Because even though he had money, you got people who had the visual appeal.
I don't believe that. If niggas right now as ugly as they want to be and got money in their pocket and got a bad bitch on their arm, Pac didn't have to do nothing. Him and Pac.
A bad smart bitch would have messed with Biggie.
Oh yeah.
But we talking about dodo birds. We talking about dodo birds that's attracted to wealth and visuals.
Hell yeah.
Long term.
If you smart, you would have stuck with Biggie. Biggie would have been happy to have you on his arm, but Biggie had hoes too. Biggie was number one. Biggie was number one.
I think that was before he really got number one or some shit like that. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, I do remember the stories, but I really did.
He had a baby. He had a whole baby before he was even a rapper. He had a daughter. Remember that song he said, shout out to the I'm just trying to feed my daughter. The nigga was ugly then and had a baby.
I'm going to tell you something. No. This is another thing. It's very funny how you mess with a female that was regular dagler right? And as soon as he got popping, he messed with light skinned face, right?
Yep. Yep.
That whole time, his daughter is just like him, ugly as ever. However, Gucci, but she's not ugly, okay? But I would say that only because he called himself that, and she looks just like him. She's not ugly at all. She's beautiful.
No,
Okay.
she looked like the daddy. But I heard something about her too. What was the last thing I heard about her? Did she marry a nigga that was in jail? Like something crazy.
First of all, she got with her, she got self-image issues. She don't
Oh,
look pretty at all. You can
wow.
see it. You can see it. She
But
has
there was a story I think about the dude that she was with or her kid or something. I forgot. I just remember it wasn't a good connotation. She was making some type of crazy decision with her baby daddy or her husband or whoever it was. This was years ago.
yeah, but you know what it is? A lot of people, even though okay, I'm gonna give you a good example. You know, like Snoop Dogg's daughter.
Yeah.
She is very beautiful, but she is not the quote unquote standard quote
Yeah.
unquote acceptable beauty, right? And you know what's sad? You see it in our real life community. They settle and they deal with who they think they should deal with, even though they deserve better.
Very much true. And I'm so happy you said think because that's their self esteem making them do that.
Mm-hmm.
Very much so.
See, look, I be talking shit, but I'm not actually really just talking shit about people. Like, maybe it's how I come over. Like, I get that from my whole grandma. My grandma's an Aries. So, and my mama's a Taurus. Look, I shit. But no, on the real, they wear it on their sleeves. Like, Snoop Dogg's daughter wear it on her sleeve. You can tell.
Oh, really? Also, she's super fancy.
Yes, but a lot of it ain't just her. It's the fans telling her that.
Really? Telling her what? That she's not cute?
Like, I'm gonna give you a good example. Like, Biggie's daughter. It's a lot of people who tell her that she's ugly.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
And mind you, that's why I was like, hold on, wait. Even though I was talking shit, and I was like, ugly as fuck. However, I'm Gucci down, this, that, and the third. I only said that because she looked just like her daddy, and her daddy called himself ugly, and he never had to, right? To be honest with you, she get a lot of flack from looking just like her daddy.
Yeah.
More siblings from Faith, and I feel like that's colorism.
Yeah. And then he literally said, black as ever, and then ugly, whatever. And then people are telling you look just like your dad, and your dad said he was ugly. So yeah.
Yeah, you see what I'm getting at then. So yeah.
Yeah. And who knows what she's experienced, what she's been through, whatever.
And a lot of people don't like her for her. They like her for her name.
That's crazy.
Because your name
she don't even know her dad. She was, what, 3 or 4 when he passed away? She don't even know.
That's the clout chasing part. But you got people that really know her who fuck with her. But then you got people that only want to fuck with her because of her name.
Right.
You know, your name hold weight. It's just like Game of Thrones. You're a Targaryen. People will fuck you because you're a Targaryen.
Yeah.
Oh, the first thing they're gonna say was, "Oh well, shit, we'll back you. Let's overthrow King's Landing." You like, hold on, bitch. I just wanted to buy some fish.
Yeah. But damn, I'm just realizing her daddy gone and her grandma gone. Damn. And I hope she was close with her grandma. I hope.
I'm sure she was. You know how I know she was? Because that was her son's first child.
Yeah.
And then if your son passed and you look at your son's first child and you see your son, you're gonna gravitate to what reminds you of your son.
Yeah.
That look like you.
Yep.
His mama's Jamaican. She looks Jamaican. Why wouldn't she gravitate to her?
Right. Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Is her mom Jamaican? You know?
Huh?
You know if her mom is Jamaican?
No, I don't think her mom's Jamaican. I think her mom's American. But her mom was a regular chick.
Okay.
But you know rappers always deal with normal people until they get famous. Until they get famous, all of a sudden, normal ain't enough, girl.
And then you pull a Kanye and get you a white girl.
No, speaking of Kanye. Girl, okay, so I did a little reading about a secret society. You gotta be wanting to talk about the Illuminati and stuff. But real life is better than fiction in a way. Because the truth of the matter is, what it sounds like to me is that they tapped into a certain freak, right? Now, if you watch porn like me, I'll be watching cockhoes, all types of stuff. So when they was like, Diddy and Kanye is a cockho, I know exactly what they were talking about.
Yeah.
Right?
Most people know what a cockhold is. Maybe it's just not an everyday word, but I'd assume people know what that is.
And for me, the way I be feeling though, the way I really do be feeling, and then people gonna get mad at me for this, is that I think that our community is too backed up on what other people think, right?
The world.
It's like the
society in the whole. Not like, just the community, society in the whole. If people didn't give a fuck about what somebody was going to say about them, they'd be a lot happier.
Yeah, of course. You are totally right. And I just kind of feel like we act like we don't know shit. That's all I'm saying. Like we be acting like we don't know shit, and it's just so disgusting. Bitch, no, it's not, bitch. Most of you bitches didn't had 2 niggas fuck you.
Right.
I'm sitting here acting like, oh my God, Diddy had Astroglide and baby oil. Oh my God, no, bitch. At least he had that in Abdorbs. Matter of fact, to be more technical, if you listen to Armand Wiggins interview with one of the hoes, I call them hoes, male hoes, because that's what he was doing. He was hoeing. So he said when he came in the room, the living room, they had any type of drug you want laid out on the platters and stuff. They had food and stuff like that, right? At least they got that, right? But the people that sitting here judging Diddy, y'all ain't even get all that. All y'all got is Musty D that came out of somebody's fucking 2-day-old jaws outside of their jean pants, and they pulled it out while the other nigga was behind you fucking you, and they told you to suck that Musty D, and you did it. You sucked that homeboy's D.
I think most people aren't even like surprised or shocked about that. It's just being read aloud in court. Even the texting. Who doesn't text them, oh baby, I can't wait till you get home, I'm gonna suck your dick. So you do that throughout the day. You should be doing that if you're in a relationship to keep it spicy. If you're not, try it.
Honest, I used to do that with my man. Now I'm like, give me a dick. No. Hold on, wait. I'm about to make you laugh. So I told my man, I said, give me a dick. Shut up. Put the titty in your mouth. And I said, oh shit, I've been watching too much of the P. Diddy. And made him bust out laughing because I've been forcing him to listen to Armand.
Not put the titty in your mouth.
Put the titty in your mouth. Shut up.
Put the titty in your mouth. More oil. More oil. Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, girl, I gotta get off of here. I need to get ready for work. Girl, I've been on hours.
I think I done messed up. I gotta
Yes,
come back to
you
the
did.
rest.
You did. You just dropped the link so we could talk.
I'm gonna do the rest tomorrow, girl. Oh my god.
Yes. I want to hear about which one is it? I want to hear about Tyler Perry. You got to do that like a
Yeah,
separate video.
that's the point. I gotta do Tyler Perry. I gotta do the couple, and I gotta do the assassin. That's
Yeah. Now I see Tisa. Did you watch Tisa Tales? Or
you
you just
know.
watch
You know what? I be skeptical about Tisa Tills. I don't trust her. I don't trust her.
what?
You know, she used to be a tarot reader.
I was about to say, did you do a tarot on her? Why wouldn't you trust her?
The reason why
Why?
I did do a personal on her that I never actually put online, but I'm like,
What did you get out
I'm
so
gonna tell you what
personally?
Tisa Tills does, right? And mind you, she used to be a tarot reader like me, but then she went over to the gossip and stuff because it actually pays. And the way she tells the story and her attitude, her upbeat and stuff, it actually works for her. So yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to her for that. But the problem with her, just like when it comes to this trial, right? She's too pro prosecutor for me.
Okay. Okay.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because, like, I like Queen Amadeus, right? She's telling you that Diddy is going to go to jail, but however, this is this, this is this, this is this, this is this, right? And she's being honest. Matter of fact, she actually teaches courses in law and stuff like that. So she actually likes that. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
she's not going to lie on both sides. On both, even though she's against Diddy, she's not going to lie, and I like her for that. With Tisa Tales, she's always going to make it seem like it's always pro prosecutor, and then when the defense actually have a valid point and they're drilling into liars, she would say, "Oh, they sat there and did them else. They did." Like, you see what I'm saying? I don't like that. Because what you basically doing is giving biased commentary, but ain't nobody telling you is biased. Because the truth of the matter is, the public is biased based on the initial video. But yeah, y'all. Sweetie, I know you hit something, but that means that we need to go, and I'm going to pick up on part 2 tomorrow. And I appreciate you talking to me. It was so crazy because I really was going through something today. And I was not going to do this live, but I decided to do it anyway. So it's going to be a live part 2 tomorrow. Hopefully, I don't have to add anything. Hopefully, nothing else crazy shows up. But we're going to be talking about whatever we're talking about and trying to get through everything. So I love y'all for real. And thank you so much for showing up. And yes, you made me feel so much better, girl. You made me feel so much better. Like I told you, like I'm all cried out, girl. I don't even know how to feel no more. I don't know whether to laugh, cry, be mad, smile. I don't know what to tell y'all at the time. I'm here in spite. But I love y'all for real, and I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow to do part 2. And yeah, peace and have a beautiful night. And I'll see y'all tomorrow.